What's going on, everybody? It is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva, and I'm back here again. Oh God, in my favorite sweatshirt, my University of Tulsa uh, College of Law sweatshirt. God damn it, I earned this sweatshirt. Anyway, how y'all doing? How are you really feeling today? Feeling pretty good. Still got a lot of stuff to do for work, but you know what? I felt like hopping on here because these headlines are bananas right now. To Jada Pinkett Smith, Red Table Talk, you laying all your business out there for the world to hear and see, and they got the nerve to be mad. You the one who said um, that Will does not meet your expectations in the bedroom, and that you just kind of expected him just to know what to do because y'all married when y'all were 22. I don't know if she's referring to present day or if she's still referring to like when they were 22. No man is gonna love you right, honey, until you at least tell him what your needs and wants are. Maybe they got instructionals on Pornhub. Maybe y'all should watch that. I mean, get your nice little subscription and start, watching some Pornhub if that's what you want. And Will is older, now, he might need a little help. I doubt it, but he might need some help. Ain't everybody August Alsina, he can't be an entanglement. Okay. Um, but then she told me, y'all got time that y'all need to stop misconstruing these headlines. And I'm just like, but that's what you said. He ain't loving you right. He basically said he ain't hitting it right. So I mean, girl, that's one thing I can't stand about social media with celebrities. Celebrities will put shit out there, say stuff, then try to spin it like we didn't see that shit. Kind of like how Cat Williams does that joke about how people say, you know, uh, dude, I just saw you do cocaine, like right there. What cocaine? Y'all stay out my business. Okay, well, you put your business out there on Front Street, so we just talking about it. I mean, some of us actually make a living from talking about your trash. Okay, so I mean, like, if Will, at this point, I really think that you and Will might need to go ahead and go your separate ways. Okay, or maybe y'all just need to live in your true selves. And the truth of the matter is, I don't think y'all happy with each other. I think y'all would be happy with other people, quite frankly. But you cannot get mad for people repeating what you've said. Okay. And running with it. Every month, every year, we got to hear about something crazy coming out the Smith house. Okay. I'm all for people bearing their soul and sharing similar situations, so because maybe it'll help somebody else. I'm all for that. But some of this stuff you be putting out there and then be getting mad. I mean, if Mr. Will ain't hitting it right, honey, you want to get entangled, get disentangled from him and then move on to the next. Okay, get you a special friend for the obit. Okay, because y'all at the special friend age now. Okay, y'all go and get y'all special friend. Okay. So she mad. You want to Poe Will. Every time we look up, we find out, dude, it's hard out here for a pimp. Sure. Hey, sure. He a bad boy for life, but can't be a bad boy with his wife. Okay. Um, that's a hotbed, a hot mess right there, Lord Jesus. That's, I said, these people are just terrible. I mean, Poe Will, she just, Will don't be hitting it right. You know. I'm like, Jada, hush, just hush. Some shit you just don't need to say. Okay. Then we got Nene leaks. Okay. Let's get into this. Let me tell y'all something. Nene, for me, I like Nene. I do, first of all. Let me preface it with that. But there are some things about her personality that I think is really stank and unnecessary. Attention seeking, gaslighting. Mr. Greg is dead and gone. Okay. Most of us who watch Real Housewives of Atlanta loved Mr. Greg. And in the last season of Nene being on that show and doing that reunion, and even during that season, we saw how vile and mean she could be uh, to Greg, and how she tried to turn his illness into being about her. What about me? What about me, the caregiver? Baby, you dumped your man off at the side of the hospital. Didn't even try to make sure that he was making it to chemo. Then, as he lay dying, nobody really said anything about it, but I just thought it was weird. And I know everyone deals with death and grief differently, but I have never seen anything so blatant and just, well, Greg leaving the world any day now. You know, he lay dying, but let's party and have a good time. Okay. Now she's on the talk show waves talking about how people do not do as she does. When Todd's mama died, I paid for some catering. When so and so died, I did this for them. Let me tell y'all something, and let me tell Nene something. In this world, you will go through this life sadly disappointed and hurt because not everyone is going to do for you as you will do for them. And let me tell you, that became very real for me when I started this entertainment journey, doing stand up comedy, begging people to come to support my shows, and they wouldn't come. But I would still support them. And you know what? That's okay because I'm not going to stop being who I am. So lower your expectations, lower your voice. I didn't even know that there was a standard to getting floral arrangements for funerals. I didn't know that either. She complained about the fact that all the Real Housewives got a $200 bouquet. It's the thought that counts because they could have not got you anything. Because the way you treated some of them, they didn't have to deal with you at all. You mad at Cynthia because she didn't come to the repast of the funeral. Some people don't like coming to funerals. Some people don't like dealing with death. One of my best friends, if I'm to go first, I know she's not gonna be at my funeral, and I'm okay with that. It just it disturbs me. And everybody's like, "Oh, she's so hurt." I don't know. You know, she's a different breed of a person, but I just wanted to pass that message that since the illness, and since she got elevated to a level of, I don't know what her relationship with Greg really was at that point, but I just feel like there should have been some semblance because it just seemed very disrespectful to me. And the fact that you're upset about what somebody gave and didn't get and didn't get and didn't give, uh, sure, I don't blame you. I mean, I try to give people their flowers. I give people flowers I don't even know. Because if you looking good, I'm going to tell you, hey. I told one of my neighbors, but I do know her. She was getting in the car, stepping out, looking nice. And I said, girl, look at you. I see you, girl. Yes. Because I'm crazy like that, and I believe in that. But you can't get mad at people for not doing as you would do. Because not everybody is you. You understand? Huh? So Nene calmed down, and then she talking about, and then she another one. She mad because people done told her she wrong. Shouldn't have said nothing. Should just kept it to yourself. Some shit just don't need to be said. Okay, moving on because I got to get back on this computer. I have an international wire to set up, and this, ugh, Jesus, I hate wires. Um, Another thing, I haven't seen Halloween. I do plan to watch it, but they mad at Mike Myers now. They trying to cancel Mike Myers because he killed a homophobic couple. I wasn't aware that Mike Myers cared what you were. He just has a bloodthirst. He likes to kill people. Jason likes to kill people. Freddie likes to kill people. Pinhead likes to kill people. Just because it happens to be a homophobic couple, they just collateral damage. Hell, it could have been a heterosexual couple. It could have been an old lady and her cat. They could have got it. Mike don't give a fuck. He kill anybody. Something wrong with all of y'all, really, at this point. I've just come to that conclusion. Anything that don't touch and agree with your spirit. I mean, can we say Mike is racist if he killed black people? If he killed a black couple, but he killed like 10 other white people? I'm just asking for a friend. I'm confused. And then y'all know who Lil Boozy is. If you don't know, honey, he looked like he could be one of Flavor Flav's children. For some reason, Boozy is very. Lil Nas X makes Boozy very uncomfortable. I personally am not a fan of either one of them, and it has nothing to do with Lil Nas being gay. Baby, I will wave a rainbow flag for anybody. Okay, you know. Yeah, some might say, "Well, you like Dave Chappelle?" I do. I love Dave Chappelle. Told a lot of truths, and a lot of people got mad about it. But that's neither here nor there. But Little Boozy, every time Little Nas X does something, here come Boozy. It's almost like everywhere that Little Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Okay. So I'm just sitting here like, now Big Frida is saying that it's not that Boozy is homophobic, it's just that he has beef with Lil Nas X. Please don't give him more firepower to go after Lil Nas X because now he's saying that someone in the community uh, is agreeing, touching and agreeing with him in his inappropriate attacks on Lil Nas X. I personally don't care for Lil Nas X because I think a lot of the stuff that he does is very much for attention and over sensationalized. Has nothing to do with him being gay. I personally sometimes look at who I know to be, or at least I believe she is, heterosexual Lizzo sometimes can be a little bit too much for me too. I love her, but sometimes she just take things too far. Like we don't need to see your ass on live. We don't. Nobody asked for it. Nobody. Lizzo drop pants, being extra, and then cry about it when people talk about you. I just really think that this world is just one crazy ass place, and there's just too much going on. And I'm gonna close out on this. I already addressed it, but I see now that more and more people don't understand, and more uh, people need to revisit branding and maybe do a little research on uh, intellectual property rights. I talked about it earlier this week. Um, People are mad at AKAs for being mad about Insecure using our paraphernalia uh, to progress a storyline that they did not need to use. They could have used Issa's fictitious sorority. Amanda Seals, yes, she is an actress. Yes, she was playing a part. But even I, as an actress, would have said, you know, I'm not an AKA. I don't want to put this on. Why put this on? Sure enough, it turns out that this shit is unauthorized. Headquarters did not authorize this and it's currently being investigated. Somebody tried to argue that it was fair use or parody. That doesn't fall under fair use or parody because if it was a parody, they would have just used pink and green and called it alpha 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 or something like that, or kappa kappa kappa, you know, or something like that, like everyone else does. But for some reason, HBO allowed this, and I'm really surprised that they allowed this because, you know, somebody was trying to argue with me and saying that, you know, product placement, that those products there because the person, you know, they gave it to them, or they don't even care. I was like, no, they got clearances because they don't want to get sued. Because what if a Coke can is in a pornographic video and Coca-Cola does not want to have affiliation with porn? No, you have to get permission to do shit. You can't just take liberties without consequences. Feel free. And that's a registered trademark. Thank you, Soror Nelly Squander. It's all about perpetuity. Alpha Phi Alpha should be upset too because they used y'all stuff in season one. Okay? But here's the thing, I'm not going to stop watching Insecure. I like the show. I think that this is just a lesson learned. You tried it. You knew better. And I now know that she knew better because I forgot all about that scene in Awkward Black Girl where she had a fictitious sorority. Forgot all about that. But here's the thing. Lanham Act, look it up. LANHAMACT. Look up trademarks, statutory damages, registered trademarks specifically. Okay. Most Greek organizations, their symbols, their letters, all of that registered at the USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office. Okay. Um, Again, this was my wheelhouse in law school because I wanted to be an entertainment attorney. I'm not saying that I fully know everything, but I've also worked in production too. So all I'm saying is that someone should have gotten proper clearance because now, you know, I don't know if it was one of those things. I forgot how the saying goes, but if you follow me, you know what I'm saying. It's better to be disobedient or whatever, do it now and then ask for forgiveness later. And that's what's going to happen, but it's going to be a costly forgiveness if AKA chooses to pursue a legal claim against HBO and Issa Rae's production company and any other production company that is affiliated with this. Um, you know, and then people were trying to drag me on Twitter because, correct me if I'm wrong, but for years in literature online, Debbie Allen was listed as a Delta for years. And it just came up apparently in 2020. She said that she actually wanted to pledge, um, AKA like her sister, but instead, you know, her mom gave her the choice of either doing that or going to dance school. Because if she chose to pledge, her mom was going to take her dance money and go buy herself a car. So I didn't know that. And so you just said, because people were trying to argue that the Greeks that were on shows like A Different World that were in the background were not real members. We're like, no, they were real members. That's why Jasmine Guy had a parody of AKA as her sorority, because we all knew this. And so, you know, they're arguing about that. But, you know, at the end of the day, I don't feel as though Amanda Seals deserved to be attacked. HBO and Issa's production company are the ones who should have been taken to task. But the behavior, and for me, it's interesting to see how D9 people are so dismissive about it. And I'm just like Mark Lamont Hill and Funky Diva, and I can't think of other people. And then they were like, well, on our kind of people, Morris Chestnut is actually a Sigma, but he's playing a Kappa. I was like, that is not the name of the fraternity. It's just kind of, that they're trying to say that they're pretty boys, but they're not. There's a way to do things without using people's trademarks. There's nothing wrong with the parody. It's a fine line. Tread lightly. But Saturday Night Live does it all the time. Those are parodies a lot of times, but people don't understand that. So, you try to educate people, and then people attack you for educating you about a subject matter that you're actually familiar with. It's like, okay, I just took trademark and patents and intellectual property and entertainment law and all of that for nothing. Anything. But it is what it is. And I just wanted to say my piece at the end about that. Um, but I just find it very interesting how people get upset when you have the knowledge and they don't want to receive it. And then the fact that people are laughing, and even some of the sorority members in the comments are like, I can't believe that they're upset. You should be upset. It's just hella disrespectful. Hella disrespectful. You wouldn't want and the others, you wouldn't want somebody, who was that had on Kappa gear? That's Miss Pumpkin. Y'all pray for her. Her little thing got collapsed trachea. Kappas were upset and up in arms about Boozy wearing their stuff. But there's bigger fish to fry when it comes to Alpha Kappa Alpha. Really? Really? But all I'm going to say is this. If you had a brand that you wanted to be protected, you would register it, right? If someone infringes upon that brand by using it without your permission, without getting the proper licensing or go ahead to use, you would be upset and want to sue. You'd have put your heart and soul into this. Because at the end of the day, while Alpha Kappa Alpha is, a nonprofit, it's also a business. This is business. This ain't personal. Okay. Anyway, y'all have a great night. Have a great weekend. I might be back on here because I'm pretty sure some other shit gonna go down. Oh shit. Yeah. I think here in Atlanta, God rest her soul, this young attorney lost her life in a domestic violence situation to her boyfriend. I don't know what his background is, but looking at the profile pictures, y'all were unevenly yoked. My sorority sister said it, but she was like, yeah, yeah, I think they were unevenly yoked. I said, I do a bit all the time about when I was in law school that I found a great place to meet men down at the county jail. But I mean, don't pick up the violent offenders. That's all I'm saying. But, in all seriousness, listen, if somebody don't want to be with you, killing them is not the answer, and killing yourself is not the answer. If you have those types of urges, please, by all means, put yourself on the 48-hour hold, 72-hour hold, and go get some help because you can't love somebody or force somebody to love you or want to be with you. And if you are doing things that's causing that person to fall out of love with you, then either you need to check yourself or just get out the relationship. That's ridiculous. We had this is a young black woman, an attorney. And then we had another recent incident happen. I forgot where this was. It may have been in Atlanta too, or Bank of America executive murdered by her man. I'm like, what the hell? See, that's why you just stay to yourself. And even then, you can't stay to yourself. One of the girls I follow, or one of the young women I follow on Instagram, who I'm really into because she gives a lot of advice about stocks and stuff. I mean, she's at her home, and this man is standing in her yard, and she had just come from taking her or let her dog out, and the dog kept barking. You know, anytime a dog keeps barking, you gotta be suspicious, especially they bark, but it's a different type of bark. And so she gets the dog, and she got in the house just in time. He went from window to doors to everything. It took 28 minutes for the police to get there while he's attacking her home. Y'all gonna laugh at me as Plant Lady Diva, but I learned something a long time, well, in my plant journey. And when I get my home, my house will probably be surrounded by cacti. Because what is not going to happen, you're not going to come up in my house just any old kind. We're going to have cameras and everything, but cacti, they will get stuck. Okay. So I told her, that was my comment. I was like, girl, get you some cacti around the house. People might look at you strange, but shit. Put not covering the windows, but just enough where you try to jump up there, you're going to get stuck. Okay. That's a great security deterrent and measurement that I learned from reading. And I think it was Ryan Bradford who said something about it to me when I was talking to her about plants and stuff. So, anyway, y'all have a great night. I have been Miss Sophia the Diva with a little bit of knowledge from my other personality, Plant Lady Diva. Anyway, stay fabulous, darling, and stay warm because the temps are starting to drop. Good night.